Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Pokemon fans of the world, it is go time with the one and only Mega Crasher, and let's go ahead and let's jump into the video here because we actually have ourselves a lot to talk about here. Now, first things first, I want to apologize if I sound I'm a little bit tired and all that stuff. I did just get back from the gym from a late night workout, and yeah, I'm gonna be feeling it tomorrow morning. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's waste no more time, and let's go ahead and let's get into the video. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so what we got going on is another Pokemon Go discussion video revolving around our, I guess, newest Datamine / APK. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I will leave a link to this article in the description box down below. It's quite lengthy. There's a lot of things that are highlighted here, but we're not going to go through every single one of them. You know, we're only just going to talk about the things that I feel, anyways, are most important and game-changing. Now, we have ourselves some pretty interesting things, such as the likes of EX Pass sharing, Pokestop Submissions. What? Pokestop Submissions? Holy hell, that's awesome. Android photo save fixes, new Kecleon cry. Now, here's the thing, is I've been wondering, okay, you know, like, there's been a lot of hype about Gen 4 and all that stuff, but yet, not all of Gen 3 has been released yet, you know? Like, we're still missing Kecleon, we're still missing, you know, like, Clamperl, Gorbis, and I believe Huntail and all that stuff, so I mean, like, we have to have Gen 3 completed first before we can move on to Gen 4, is what I'm trying to say, right? We have ourselves also EX eligible gym tags? What is that? I hopefully will get some answers here when it comes to that. And effects added for 2 new moves, Crabhammer and Power Up Punch. Oh man. Now here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that when I think of Crabhammer, I think of a few Pokemon. I think of Kingler, I think of Crawdon, and I think of Crabominable, which is a Gen 7 Pokemon that obviously hasn't been released in the game. Now, here's the thing, more specifically, Kingler, okay? Kingler is a very, very, very cool Pokemon, but unfortunately, it doesn't have the best charge moves to make use of, you know? But with Crabhammer here, Crabhammer is not only water type, which is going to be Stab, but I am honestly hoping that it is at least a 2-bar charge move, and that, you know, it's going to have a naturally high base power, which means that Kingler could actually become, like, a somewhat meta-relevant, you know? Now, Power Up Punch, I'm going to say outright that I think that's going to be a new fast move. I think that's going to be a fast fighting move that a various amount of Pokemon are going to be able to learn, and all I can say is I can't wait for this to go down, you know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, let's go ahead and let's scroll down here, and let's see what we can uncover. So, we have ourselves back-end changes, platform updates, and bug fixes, so kind of, you know, just going to gloss over that, but I do want to point out that, you know, you got things like Android camera saving, authentication streamlining, lining, sorry, not liming, whatever the hell liming means, but anyways, localization, translation changes, so there's that. You got Pokedex model animation, and I am so sorry, I'm like botching all over the place, I'm sorry guys. Pokedex model animations restored. I gotta speak a bit slower here, so hopefully I don't mess up anymore in this video. Now, we have ourselves, you know, some quality of life updates. So Niantic has really been pouring it on the QOL department. The last few weeks have seen major QOL improvements, and this APK is no different. So, we have ourselves things like shiny Pokemon icon during encounter. Now, that's actually something I noticed, you know. The other night, I ended up catching a shiny freaking Poochyena of all things. Down at the Wave, you know, on the waterfront in Halifax, if you guys are familiar with that place. And the thing is that, you know, when I caught that Pokemon, it showed different colors in the lettering. I'm just like, so this is actually really interesting here. So they're actually making it so that, you know, when you encounter a shiny Pokemon, when you catch a shiny Pokemon, that you know, they're gonna make things, you know, stand out more, you know, and it's those small things that make the game and make the experience just that much better, you know. We also have ourselves, thank God, swipe away notifications. Oh my God, I think there's a lot of people that can attest to my frustration here, because whenever I open up the game, so say if I wanted to go to settings, or if I want to go to shop or something like that, or, you know, manage my items, the thing is that I can't exactly do that effectively when there's all of these pop-ups happening, so it's really good to actually be able to, swipe them away because, like, when I tried to swipe them away to see, if it actually worked, it would go right into the screen. So say, for example, I would receive a gift, I would try to swipe that away, and it would go right to the friend's profile. I'm just like, come on, that's not what I wanted, that's not what I was trying to go for and all this stuff. But now they are addressing this, and they're going to be adding in swipe away notifications, which is just absolutely fantastic, So unfavorite Pokemon in the trading screen. Okay, this is a big one right here in my opinion, because here's the thing. As someone that has done thousands of trades, it's pretty annoying when I want to pick out a Pokemon to trade, and I end up favoring it and all that stuff, and, for that, the Pokemon becomes unavailable to trade. I have to back out of the whole, trading screen sequence, and I have to go to that Pokemon, unfavorite it, go back into the trading screen, and, wait for my friend to reconnect. So I'm just like, ugh, that's a little bit annoying, I've had to deal with that before, but, now we can actually unfavorite Pokemon in the trading screen, which is really, really awesome. So, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that we have ourselves some brand new features that were added in this update. Pokestop Submissions. This is massive. Okay, so here's the thing. We can hardly believe we're saying this, travelers, but Pokestop submissions are now enabled and live in 2 countries with historically sparse POI data. It has been a long time coming, but this is a fantastic development for Pokemon Go. So, based on, this line of dialogue right here, it's only available in 2 countries, but hopefully it'll roll out across the world slowly but surely and all that stuff. I think that's how they're going to do it, slowly but surely. So, a new multi-step tutorial has been added to the UI to help train folks how to submit POI data. Many challenges lie ahead of Niantic before a global rollout of the system would seem likely. They must maintain quality, staff the reviewers with adequate manpower, and ensure the game's map is not manipulated by bad actors. And yes, we have to make sure that if we are submitting stops, we have to have, like, a good reason as to why, those stops are being submitted. Now, okay, here's the thing. Is that, I live in kind of like a semi-rural area. Like, I have to drive quite a bit to be able to get into, like, a really good populated area when it comes to playing Pokemon Go. Like, I live in the Lower Sackville, and I gotta drive all the way to Halifax, which takes about 25 to 30-ish minutes, give or take the traffic or the weather and all that stuff. In order for me to have, like, a good concentration of stops, of gyms, of spawns, things like that, to be able to play the game effectively to the best of my ability and all that stuff. But hopefully, with this right here, we will be able to have more stops added, in my area, and that would actually be pretty cool, and I would actually love, I would actually love the ability to be able to have an EX gym in Lower Sackville. I was thinking, Sackville Gardens could actually be a pretty good candidate right there. I mean, it's a pretty nice area, and it's a park and all that stuff, and, most of the EX gyms usually come within park areas and all that stuff, right? So, there should be some good reasons to be able to make Sackville Gardens an EX gym, I think it'd be kind of cool to do a local EX raid and stuff instead of, like, traveling, to Halifax or Dartmouth or something like that. But anyways, this right here, like, I am really, really excited about all this. Now, speaking of EX raids, we have EX raid pass sharing. Not live yet, though, but here is the thing. This is actually huge, because here's the thing. Everything is now in place for EX raid passes to be shared with the friend travelers. Notably, this system will require a minimum friendship level that has not yet been discovered. So, it kind of makes sense, right? It kind of makes sense that we have to have, like, a certain level of friendship in order for that to take place. And I'm kind of wondering, is that going to cost Stardust? If so, how much? I mean, I don't know. I think we spend more than enough Stardust with, like, doing special trades and all that stuff. I don't think we need to have, like, a crazy amount of Stardust spent, if not at all, when it comes to giving your EX raid pass to a friend, or, sharing it in this situation, right? So with that being said, among several new error codes surrounding this feature, some basic restrictions are revealed for the feature. You can only share an EX raid pass with one person. Your friends cannot be invited to the same raid already. So, you know, the person that you're sharing the EX raid pass with, they originally can't have, you know, the same EX raid pass invite, you know, in the same place at the same time, right? So, you know, in order for the sharing thing to be effective, you have to be able to share with someone that does not have an EX raid in that given spot on that account. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, a minimum friendship level is required. Now, they don't exactly know what it is. The raid cannot have already started, so it has to happen before the raid starts. It can't happen when it already has started. So, with that being said, we may see a forced update required before this feature is enabled, travelers. You will not be able to receive a shared EX raid pass if your app client cannot handle the interaction. Keep an eye on it. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, okay, let's go ahead and let's move on to hints, leaks, and upcoming features. Now, this right here, let's see, okay, now for the hype train fuel. Okay. Things are gonna get good right here. So, EX eligible tags on gyms. Currently, sponsored gyms are shown with a small sponsored callout in the top right. The following metadata has appeared after gyms. It's sponsored a tribute to the new APK. So, we have ourselves some line of code right here. It says, is EX raid eligible, EX raid tag, clicks EX raid tag, and EX raid model sprite. This metadata appears related to the UI sponsored callout. Might we hope to see EX raid eligibility called out explicitly with an impending update? Now, I don't know if this connects to what I had talked about earlier about how we should be able to, you know, choose certain gyms in parks that aren't EX raid spots, turn them into EX raid spots. I'm kind of wondering, is this right here, you know, what I was just talking about, and then, you know, here it is live and in living color, you know? That would actually be pretty cool. So, up next, we have ourselves the Kecleon audio cry change. So, you know, that's kind of self-explanatory right there. Audio file spotted for a new move, Crabhammer. Now, this right here is pretty freaking awesome. So, in an interesting twist of events, the audio files for a new move have been spotted. Crabhammer is curiously another signature move, this time for the Krabby/Kingler family. Well, let's also not forget about, you know, Crawdon as well. Crawdon actually gets Crabhammer in the main series games, you know. But with that being said, for those who've forgotten, less than a month ago, the Silver Road team discovered the move Meteor Mash in the APK's assets, most notably the signature move of the Metagross family. It's curious to see multiple signature moves beginning to appear in the audio and effect files, while still noticeably absent from the APK moves direct dictionary. So, here's the thing, is that, are these moves just going to be, you know, just, you know, quietly slipped into the game, or is there going to be some sort of event going on where it's like a Krabby/Kingler community day and a Metagross community day, you know, in order for, you know, those Pokemon to get their signature moves being Crabhammer and Meteor Mash respectively? I'm just gonna say, I certainly hope that we don't get a community day dedicated to Krabby. As much as I love Krabby and Kingler, I mean, there are obviously much better Pokemon that would fit the bill when it comes to having their own community day and all that stuff. Like, you know, starters, 10k egg hatches, things like that. Special, you know, Pokemon that are, you know, that are event worthy and all that stuff, you know? You know, that right there is just something to keep in mind. Now, with all of that being said, let's see what else we got going on. So, visual effects assets added for Meteor Mash. Speaking of Meteor Mash, a new comic graphic asset has been added, presumably for the use in the move. Oh, buddy. All I can say is I cannot wait for Meteor Mash to be added. I really hope that they do this on a community day for Beldum, you know? This is gonna be crazy. Now, here's the thing also, is that something I just want to point out real quick. I think it's a real bloody shame that, you know, these Pokemon that had their own community day in the past, you know, they have their event exclusive moves, but the thing is that, you know, the only way you can get those exclusive moves is within that 3-hour time period of the event. You know, if you were to get a Pokemon, you know, after the event, that, you know, would normally have its event move and all that stuff during the community day event, they're not going to get it because the event is over and all that stuff. And I think it's a shame that, you know, we can't TM those event moves onto our Pokemon should they have already had a community day event. Like, say, for example, Frenzy Plant Venusaur, right? We can't TM Frenzy Plant onto Venusaur because even though it has that move as an event move, it just doesn't get it, you know, naturally. Like, it has to have happened during the community day event. Now, with that being said, a brand new move appears, Power Up Punch. An entirely new move has just added its effects files, show up in the latest APK. Power Up Punch. Now, like I said earlier, you know, Power Up Punch, I'm going to guess, is going to be a fast move, a fast fighting move, and I'm honestly really, really hyped and really excited about Power Up Punch. I think it's going to be a really good fighting type move, maybe better than Counter or something like that. Who knows, right? This move is learned by a very few species via level up, though. It can be TM'd by many more. In fact, only 2 families can learn it in Gen 7, being Crabrawler and Buzzwole, and only 1 Pokemon can learn it in Gen 4, being Lucario. Are we seeing hints of the upcoming Gen 4 Pokemon new movesets? That's where we'd put our chips. Now, again, you know, we're talking about Gen 4 and all that stuff, but, you know, it's like I'm really hyped for Gen 4, and I really would like for it to be, you know, released sometime soon and all that stuff. But here's the thing, is that we still have yet to release all of Gen 3. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's just also something to keep in mind. So, with that being said, that is more or less it. That's gonna, I guess, conclude this APK and all that stuff, you know? Yeah, I'm really, really excited about all this, guys. Like, this was a pretty big data mine. So, with that being said, you know, like I said at the beginning, I'll leave a link to this article in the description box down below, so that way you guys will be able to read it at your own leisure and all that. So, with that being said, I say thank you guys all very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to smash a like on it. And with all that being said, if you want more content, please be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications and all that fun stuff. So, with that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next upload.